Not planning to comb my hair today. It's hotter than Satan asshole out there. Tried sleeping all night. I got in one nap, right? Because I had a beer, right? From a beer. Right? Then the second nap, there was like about a 35-second window in which there was good enough wind for me to pass out. Why? Because it's 100 degrees. I need wind to cool off my skin and feel comfortable. The sweat to dry on my skin to feel comfortable and close my eyes. But uh, it did not. It did not come. The wind did not come. It ended up coming when I magically fell asleep on the seat beyond 3, 4 in the morning. I woke up at 7:40 something, right? 8:40 something, and then decided to get up. Serious. Market open. It was a significant difference from yesterday to today. I saw on futures. So we're probably looking at a significant gap up today at open. But I'm talking about significant, significant. The question is how significant and if we're going to get a pullback. We might be going for all-time high today. It might be all-time high today. Oh, there's some supply right there. We should be in supply right now. Hold on. Yeah, we have up to 604 up top, and it's shaded on the top side. We basically tapped into that 502 demand, which felt like if we were in a bear flag pattern, but we were in a bear trap, a macro bear trap. So we're gonna go for, where's the top? Yeah, the top is behind us. See that top? That's a top. This is a top. That's a top up there. So let's open 5 in the money today at 50%. Let's do it now. Buy custom. 50% market, right? At 50% with the condition. Submit at, what do we got? We got 29 here. Study by the top. They pricked my thighs, B. Top. I'm feeling violated. Someone did a violent, violent, violent thing to my body. We're gonna do a 7 within 7 bars. So one, and then count 7 more minutes to close because they're coming in clusters. You see, if we're gonna hit the top, once the condition is gonna be met, it's gonna continue going higher if this were to show up. So 7 candles should be more profit. All right. We got 29.10, 29.30. That's going to be the only trade of the day so far. Yeah, before I was talking that blacks and Hispanics and kids with needles got to get shot. They got to get a bullet in them. Why? Because they're playing with needles. Play with needles is the biggest violation out there other than rape, especially for Puerto Rican culture. Puerto Ricans know from a young age to not play with needles. It's something that's taught in school. Like I said, the epidemic in Puerto Rico of AIDS in the 90s, in which lots of people dropped and continue to drop over intravenous drug usage. So, market open. It's something that they teach in school, but now, modern, right? Modern times, 30 years later, they picking up using needles on people, and it's teenagers. It's not old heads. It's teenagers. It's kids sticking needles in people. Now I'm saying that you gotta pop them. You gotta put a bullet in them. You gotta make them suffer. You gotta make those families suffer. That's the only way that reform that conduct. The only way. It's like drug dealing, right? It's like rape. That's a real big offense. It's not a little offense, right? It's like, oh, he didn't do nothing to you. That's just a needle prick. It's much greater than they think. It's a much greater offense that they think. You know, make people's bloods look darker, right? Introduce foreign liquids, medicines into the blood. It's a big risk. Oxidizing the blood, right? Doing things to it, adding air, water, whatever the fuck they're introducing into your bloodstream. It's a big violation, right? And as a big violation, it must have real big repercussions. The pattern of misconduct is here in the city, all of 40th, and it's all these Hispanics. And in the train is both Hispanic and African Americans. Outright sticking needles in your body, in your thighs, right? In your arms, on the calves, on the bottom of your calves, on the bottom of your thighs, like what I have right now. It doesn't feel like a rash. It feels like multiple intramuscular injuries, not superficial, multiple intramuscular injuries on both calves, many stab wounds to the calves. And why is that? Why is that? Because you got to get shot. Because there's no population control out here. It's too sweet to those types of violations, and that's worse. That's the worst violation, right? Exposing people to AIDS, exposing people to serious venereal diseases, exposing people to blood clots, the real muscular issues, right? Stretching people's skin after they succeed in infecting the area in which they are consistently acting upon it. They're looking to take your leg. That's a serious offense. They should get killed. They should get hurt to the point that they want to do it no more. We got an average spike on it. That's a pretty big candle. The ginormous candle right there. There's something. You see that? We got an average spike signal. We might be going to 609 right now today. No, limits are better. Limits are way better because we're going to enter into really strong short sold territory right now. Even the MACD is 0.34. So yeah, it warrants a real strong governmental effort to remove these Hispanics from New York City. And reported, anyone reported as previously used the needle on someone, jail time, re-education. And if you're from the street, outright violence. They need a real reality check. They need to be dropped from the head. They need to be dropped on their head higher than 3 feet. Higher than 3 feet. That's a really big offense. They got to hold their head and cry for that. You know? And then the most serious offenders, we're talking about shooting them in the back with no honor, with no disregard, just boom, right here, just pop, blow that motherfucking shoulder. In the back, that's it. That's it. That's what a grown man would do. Exposing the general population to real big illnesses, to changes, discoloration of their own blood. You know, my right calf swelled up to this big. Thanks to people every night through the whole winter of last year looking to prick, not yesteryear, looking to prick my calf, my right one, overnight, time and time and time and time again, making holes in my calves as big as a pencil's eraser from continued sticking the fucking needle in it. Those are the those are the Negroes, those are the Hispanic, in which need to be dropped from their head. Need to be dropped so hard they never come out their house anymore. They want out. They want no smoking weed. They don't want to be seen on the street. They want to leave New York City. They need big education and psychosocial, psychological control for their actions. I'm talking about real violent behavior. They got to get kicked in the face. Boom! Bow! You know, we need something that makes them feel like they're vulnerable, right? After doing what they're doing to people out here, you know, pricking the thighs underneath, sticking needles in people, right? Looking to make people sick because they all anal, because they think Whitey has to pay, right? Because they think they could fight the National Guard with pistols and guns. They think they're American, and then there's no borders. They need a real big reality check, and it comes at 45 ACP. Put a hole like a softball in your ass for that. They need correction, corrective action. NYPD is not going to do enough. Remember, this is corruption. Blacks don't get punished out here, right? There's still nothing happens. As long as they don't put a hand on somebody, they can do every crime in the book. But for that, for looking to get people serious illnesses, you know, for looking to take people's leg out here, right? Give intramuscular pain to people with needles. They need a reality check. They need a new set of friends, because I wouldn't associate myself with no Negro, no negrette, no female Negro if they're into this type of behavior, because they're so elitist, they're so cultist, and their sons and daughters is pricking people out here. And they're learning from Hispanics, fresh off the boat. And it's a problem that's happening in France. It's in France right now. I put it there on the news yesterday. Over 150 something people reported that they got pricked in a party in a music festival. And the arms and the calves and the thighs with dirty needles and black and blue marks, right? From the liquid and the infection festering in their body. They gotta get shot. That's a real. It must be swift and rapid response. It is not a walk in the park in a black face with composite white smiles. I'm black. In that fucking mind, meme brain, with no frontal lobe capacity, just like Hispanics, it's not ringing bells. It's not ringing bells, the seriousness of the offense. They don't get it. They don't get it. Because all you're telling them is that they can't do something. Right? They get on the defensive, but they dumb as a motherfucker. I know these people is dumb as a motherfucker. They dumb like a box of bricks, and then give someone, right, a new fad, a new trend into pricking people with a brain like a box of fucking bricks. You see what I mean? This is happening in New York City. This is not a game, player. They need serious corrective action, and it has to come from the community. Most of the problems in the city could be resolved by community leaders, by gangs, right? By Trinitario, right? By Blood, by Crips, so that they fear their fucking life when they get beat out of nowhere inside a train for pricking someone when they not looking. That should be the real response. So you wake up, you have no idea someone introduced a needle in your body, and they stomping the living shit out of that boy. No matter what color, if they seen something done inappropriately. But they so dumb now, they fried, they have no idea what they doing. what their peoples is doing and how bad it warrants an intervention, how bad it warrants direct action, quick, swift, quick. We're talking about drop them from more than 3 feet onto their head. You know, it's not like, oh, we're gonna drop them, raise them up a little bit. No, we're talking about suplexing them to their head hard. Bam! They pockets ran, on pants, on shirt, no shoes, violated, stomped on their chest, boom, boom, right? And fuck that love, B. Fuck Hispanic and black love right now. Fuck white and Hispanic love and fuck white and black love. There's no love out here. And they gotta understand that they fucking cut the umbilical cord themselves. They did that to their own selves. They were stupid enough to engage in behaviors out here that race relations is in the garbage. But they still persist on thinking that they can have white friends. They still persist on thinking, the guys, right, that they could fuck with white women. And look how bad our relations. Look how bad our relations. They're pricking people with drugs. And that warrants 100% social distancing from these people. If you're white and you're looking, and a black man is looking to fuck with you, looking to marry you or whatever, sleep with you, that's a no-no. Their behavior is generating extreme social distancing. Stay away from these militant Negroes, because you might end up with your teeth deformed, right? You might end up with needles in your body. You might end up, you're not one of them. It's deep to the skin. The problem is deep in the skin. You got to have a lot of melanin to identify with these people. You understand what I'm saying? They've made the city a shithole overnight, and it's getting even worse. God knows how many people got AIDS out there right now, being celibate, being virgins, never had sex since high school, since prom, right? Since their 20s, being pricked by these people. You see what I mean? Being pricked by dirty needles from this fucking demographic, Hispanic and black demographic. Single them out. They not your friends, B. And they should stay away from white women, because they're not good. They don't possess enough comprehension to not stick a dirty needle in people. Lots of comprehension is needed. They're so fried, their brain is like a bag of bricks. Fertilizer in that motherfucker. Fried, crunchy fried. Like a rotisserie chicken left. Oh, nice. Made my profit. Like a rotisserie chicken left out for too long. It is serious. Let me open another one. We already made our profit. We're going for another. We're going for another 50%. And they close at the top signal. I'm the best, baby. You see that? Those two trades right there. Let's go on for the second one. 50% are the top. Don't associate yourself with these people. These people is dumb. Oh, but they're my friends. Oh, but they got lots of money. Fuck that. Your life, your health, it's worth much more than a couple fucking insect brain people. A bunch of motherfucking monkeys that know that they're making a really big mistake. They know that they're fucking stupid. Sticking people with dirty needles out here like if it was a fucking game. We're going for a double tap here, either at the top or another 50%. We already made some. How much did we make? Let me see. I can't tell. It is serious. It's not a game. They're playing with fire that should not be touched. They're playing with something that should not be touched, that should not be dealt. It's public information, motherfucker. It was taught in high school. It was taught in high school. And not one time, multiple times through my generation, class of 2003 and before, to not play with dirty needles, to not touch them, to not put them in your pocket as a weapon. But the current psychology, the current IQ of these people is motherfucking mongrel. Is so low, so dumb, so stupid. You can't associate yourself with them. You're not supposed to be hanging out with those type of people. You're not supposed to be hanging out with Hispanics. Don't associate yourself with Hispanics. Don't befriend any Hispanics, and don't befriend or have as a boyfriend or as a girlfriend any African American female or male. Distance yourself from them, because they're doing things that we're never gonna do. They're doing things that we would get a major violation if we did. You get shot, P. Shot. In PR, in my hood, Caserío Humbert, Puerto Rico, even if a child or a person by mistake got pricked by a dirty needle after a junkie left the needle and the syringe in the grass, because they like doing that in certain areas. When they done with the needle, they like sticking a tool, needle up in the dirt, so that they recognize, feel it around, and retrieve it, just like in prison. Even if someone got pricked with that one, someone would get beat. Someone would get it. They'd be like, you got pricked, baby? Yeah, hold on. Someone would get that. Why? Because they're always looking. They know who did that. They know who put that there. They would get a violation, a big violation. That's why you don't see needles in projects in the West Coast of PR. You don't see that out there. They's gonna get it. And they did. People did get pricked to that. All right, a little butter in it, a little Coke. But it warrants a response. The response that that the current minority demographic is not having over people pricking other people. It's like laughter, ha ha. It's like this fucking ignorance that ought to be removed from them with a 45 ACP, with real gang relations, with real gang intervention. You play with needles out here, we're gonna get you. Real intervention. NYPD got a frisk and search again in the subway. Stop right there. Find those needles. Arrest them. Treat them like if they were paraphernalia, right? Like if they were a tweeter or a crack pipe. Get them out. Something must be done because of that, because they continue to do it to me. If it's not the thigh, and I got my right calf under control, now it's the underneath of the thighs. When I got here, it was the rectum. Sticking needles and sushi sticks in my rectum, fresh off the boat. Just got here to the city, and this was all blacks. This was not Hispanic. Sushi sticks and needles up in someone's asshole when they not looking. That's the current Negro demographic. That's the current psychology out here. That's these reparations guys, free food guys. This is what they doing. This is the people that you gotta single out, because you don't know if they doing this to people out here. You gotta wake your ass up and who you got as a friend. You might got someone that's actively looking to do great harm to other people. Not just a little harm, not just a punch in the face, a punch in the eye. No, we're talking about puncturing someone's anus with a dirty needle and then going back at it and hit him with the sushi stick. See that? And then you tell me that it doesn't warrant real violence. It doesn't warrant real white on black violence. But I'm talking about serious violence too. I'm talking about popping them in the back, popping them in their dick, popping them in the train, just boom, right there, just like, oh, what you looking at? And then get nice and sweet. Oh, I didn't mean it, bump, bump. Right there in front of everyone, so people start screaming, they record that shit. They're becoming real dangerous people. Both demographics are becoming intolerable. They're doing things that they don't belong in regular society. They belong in Rikers. They belong in a big ass fence being told to not come to this community. They belong segregated again. They're becoming so dangerous, they belong segregated again. Outright. Just like Watts, north of Watts Avenue and south of Watts Avenue. They belong like that. Word to mother. That way and us this way. Why? Because they want to be in this side way too much. And with that type of behavior, it warrants direct action. It warrants direct action. Hispanics are on the same boat. They're close tied. Those are just good friends to those people. And it warrants complete separation of church and state. The fuck out. They way too deep in our business now. They way too deep in our body. Way too deep. Not just a little deep, way too deep in our body. Way too deep in our body now. What they're doing is a complete violation. They don't care. You think they care? They live in a bubble. They fried. They crunchy fried out here. They fried. But I'm talking about box of bricks for brains, rocks, with a nice composite, fresh smile. Shing. Lots of melanin and nice smiles. And what they hide is the worst of human behavior. It's common knowledge. It's violations of common knowledge. All right? Minorities are catching identical behaviors. Like looking to sleep with your girl. Who did that before? Hispanics. Hispanics don't respect. Hispanics are all blood children. They're all adulterers. They don't respect relations. None of them respect relations. They're milk brothers. They're like dogs, all right? They inseminate the same woman knowingly and then celebrate, oh, we all sleep with the same woman. Another brains like a bag of rocks. Another demographic that brains is like a bag of rocks with no respect, with no concept of, devoid of rational thought, of an emotional awareness. Nothing. They don't care. And blacks are following the same path. If I like anyone, they want to be piping that shit up. If I like another person, after piping that first one, they want to go pipe the second one. And they call that free will and not a rational violation of adultery. They're catching the worst traits from the worst people. And they're becoming altogether the worst people. The people that should be told where to be and at what times. At what times? Because I don't want their children out here. I don't want those people in this community. It's Battery Park, baby. It's $3,000. Every time I see a black person go up into any of these buildings, I know he a drug dealer. I know he ain't make that kind of money out here. He ain't paying $4,000 in rent. He dealing drugs. He ain't looking all fine and shit, thinking he that running banana peels on his face and shit. Right? Saratoga water cleansers with lemon, all this fucking hype shit. This is what these people is doing out here. They like to be real close to us, to then lash out, to then be the worst people that nobody likes within the demographic. They're turning into the worst behavior. They're mixing, they're blending themselves into being the people nobody likes to be around with. Nobody likes. They used to be good friends of mine. We used to skateboard together, smoke blunts together. I know all of Wu-Tang. I know 50 Cent. I know Big Pun. I know big guys that they adore, that they admire. I know Michael Jordan. I know Magic Johnson. I know a lot of real great guys of that race, but they turn into the people that you don't want to be with. They turn into that Dominican scum. They turn into that Dominican scum. They turn into that Hispanic Venezuelan scum. Blacks is turning into that Argentinian scum. Spaniard scum. They turn into that nasty people. The people that you don't want close. You don't want close to your family, to your home, to your children. They don't want knowing your information, your TikTok profiles. You don't want them knowing your Instagram accounts, because anyone you like, they will put their dick in it and call that free will. And then you wonder, why is they all so fucking ugly? Because they don't have any real case system. They don't even decide who they want to sleep with. They don't even decide who they want to make a baby with. They're not looking to improve their race. It's the complete opposite. It's destroy it. Right? And I've already explained in a previous video. All right. And I've already explained on a previous video what it means when you have these people around the world, right, procreating and killing the races that have real strong percents, generations of these people, and they are offset byproduct of slavery. They are a byproduct of slavery. You don't know. They're indiscernible what they are. Down to the genes, they're so mixed, you don't know what these people are. All they got is a birth certificate telling them where they are. But in reality, in their blood, there's nothing there. And you can get on to the later, right? To the what they're going to do with the world as they continue colonizing it, right? They continue glowing, doing what they want, and entering the old world, right? When genetic percents are 50, 60% of the particular race, right? People that are discernible. I mean, people that not discernible, people that you know that there's something, right? Where are they? They're English, right? They're English. They're Scottish. You check in the blood. There's 50% Scottish right there. There's 60. Check a Hispanic right now. See what they are. They're nothing. Zero. They're 5% Portuguese. Ooh. At best. Maybe 5, maybe 12%, something. Just a tiny fraction. Right? But the more you put them in places like this, you lose, right? You start making the world endangered and critically endangered species. Right? Because you're not putting a fence around them. And the current, how currently volatile they are, how dangerous they're starting to become, how they're adapting and grabbing the worst behaviors, right? It makes the people that you need to keep away. You got to keep away from them. 100%. 100%. They're not people you could trust. They're people that are going to start spying on your social media, right? Well, I'm going to send a DM to this girl. Oh. Sending DMs and spying just to sleep with who you like. Just to inseminate who you like. Just they have no other MO. They have no other MO. This is what they like doing to you. Just like Hispanics. It's not a game. It is not a game, baby. They're turning real toxic. They think they got control of people. And they should be kept away from this area. My opinion, Make a rule up. I want none of these people inside this community after 10 o'clock. During the day, they could do whatever they want, but after 10 o'clock, there's a curfew. And I don't want them out here in the park. It's the only way to keep people safe. It's serious. It's not a game. This is what they're doing up here. You know? They're becoming real dangerous people. Whenever you're not looking, you're asleep nice and comfortably, you wake up and your thighs are glued to the cloth after sticking your leg hundreds of times with dirty needles. This is what these people is doing out here. This is the fad. It's modern culture. It'd be the same one that want to be telling you what you do. It'd be the same one that think he got control over people. It'd be the same one that is looking for authority. And it's the same people that you should not associate yourself with. Oh, stay away. Hispanics and blacks are people that should be cut off like that. Bah! You never again hang out with them. You don't consider them close friends ever again. If you're smart enough, because if you're not, you're gonna act ignorant. You're gonna play like a dumb rock, like a bag of rocks. You're gonna play your dumb like them, and all they're looking for is to do harm to you. There must be reasons, but most people is not gonna catch those cues. Most people is not gonna realize how dangerous they really are until it happens to them, until they get raped, right? Until they get pricked, right? Until they catch a venereal disease, right? Until they realize that their blood is dirty, right? That their blood is not too healthy anymore, right? That they lose their smile, that they lose their hair quality, everything. Everything is on the table with these people. These people is willing to do anything they can and want to you. And they'll do it when you're not looking. That's the worst part about them. It's never a face-to-face thing. Now, this is easy. A tool with bullets in them, it's way more easy. Just pop. That's it. Simple. Solved. Go to the hospital now. Get your stomach drained and welcome to your new ship bag, buddy. Because they're dangerous for several reasons. Could be to try to get you to go. You know, get you to move, get you to go, get you to move out. I don't want you in the city. Not you. A doctor. Because I'm a doctor. I'm not a game. Not a piece of shit. I spent 10 years in college to realize that the black demographic and Hispanic demographic of the city lost its marbles. See that? It's not a game. It's not laughing matter, bro. To them, it's funny. We're not that. He's lying. No. No, you guys are fucking dangerous, bro. You guys want control of people. You guys think you dominate other people. You guys are in positions of power just to dominate, to make life miserable out here. Make it so miserable from overpricing food, from assault, from injections, from this and that. You're just making people go. Because all you want is power. Power and control and money. It's not a joke. It's not a laughing matter. What they doing in this city is real dangerous, bro. It's not a game. How much battery do I have left to show? 13%. It's not a game, baby. They're just looking to kick you out. Brother Gore, not bad. 355 is not bad as a starting point. I'm just trying to make people leave. And once I leave, I'll be set for life. I'm not going to leave the city just because the demographic is turning real toxic and nasty. I'm going to leave because I found better opportunities. I found a chance to do it, you know, go to California or something, where blacks are still humble, where Hispanics are still nice. Not here. Not here, baby, because hell no. Here they lost their goddamn mind. They're not good people out here. They're making the illusion, you know. New Yorkers are making the illusion that everything, the Democrat New Yorkers is thinking, yeah, yeah, everything is fine. Everything is fine. You know, the illusion without not looking at the enemy. It's turning into a civil war. I call it a civil war. Separation of church from state. You know, they're becoming a real threat to regular people. A certain demographic is becoming a real threat to certain people. And you're starting to notice that certain people is starting to look a little weird, a little teeth deformities, right? I got here, my teeth were straight. Now I got gaps on my teeth, right? I got here, my skin was flush white, flush white. Now I got all this melanin on my face. I got here, my hair was straight, straight, and now my hair is perm and dry. I got here beautiful. June 27th of 2023. They done everything they could to me. They got away with doing everything they could to me. And it's because I'm telling you the truth. I'm telling you that you should not be with these people. You got to single these people out. You got to tell them no. Back them off. Stinky mongoloid. Stay away. Stay away. You guys are doing real harm to people that are my race. People are getting away with real dangerous behaviors. You guys in minorities are thinking you run the place. And you're getting away with all types of shit. Teeth deformations, teeth pulling, injections in the roof of the mouth, injections in the gum, injections in the tongue, unprovoked violence, hair perming, hair twisting, dreadlocking. You guys have no uncertainty avoidance anymore. You think you could touch me. You think you could stick me with a dirty needle. The demographic is completely fried, baby. Blacks and Hispanics is fried. They're not the same people. And they do that to make you look like them. That right? After they destroy you, after they make you look ugly as a motherfucker, and they say, look how ugly that white man is. Oh, he's so ugly. Look how beautiful we are. After they engage in such behaviors, right? After they engage in looking to modify you altogether, and they say, oh, we look so good. Oh, we're so beautiful. And you realize that Caucasians is going through some shit out here. It's not just me. They're looking pretty good, right? They got a pretty nice skin, pretty nice smile, right? They got good clothes. They got fashionable items. They pack in Louis Vuitton. They pack in Gucci, and we are in rags out here. You see that? Are you gonna pay attention to that, or you're gonna be ignoring the fact of what they doing to you here? It's a civil war. It's us versus black and Hispanics. For real. Take a look at a couple white women out here in Battery Park and see the malnutrition in their face, suffering from everything I'm suffering. Scurvy, teeth deformations, crepey skin, big black eyeballs under the eyes. There's a couple samples out there. Why? Overpriced food, no supply of orange juice. Why do you think? Because black and Hispanics got control of the food supply. There's no affordable food out here. 2,000 calories is $21. We're not going to spend $21 a day, B. They think that we could survive in 1,500 calories and sugar-free options. But that's the logic between blacks and Hispanics. I could survive with 1,500 calories a day. They're killing you. They're knowingly killing you. Their beliefs, their values. Oh, he has to pay more. They have to pay more. It's not about making profit. It's about killing you, about starving you, about making you look for another place to shop. They're not buying that food. They're stealing it. Right? I'm not lying. I'm a doctor, and a respected one at that. 12 years of experience in business administration. This is what they're doing to you out here. They are healthy, and you are not. They got firm, beautiful skin, and you do not. They got straight teeth, ginormous Alice in Wonderland cat, pearly whites, all composite and dentist appointments and whitening, and you do not. It's obvious. I'm already giving you that they're the enemy. I'm already telling you that this connection that they got with Hispanics makes them the enemy. And if you don't wake up, right? If you don't understand what they're doing to you, if you don't understand that you're overpaying for food, if you don't understand that they don't want you to charge up, there should be an outlet behind me right now. But they don't want you to charge up. They've taken over. They think they're in power. They're making New York City miserable until you leave and turn this into Atlanta. Empty, devoid of people or of traffic. Majority African American. And it's already turning to that. New York City is turning majority Hispanic and African American. Just take the demographic of the train. Sit on a train, make a sample of the population, right? Sit in a couple boxcars and tell me who you see in there. Who's sitting on that train right now? Blacks and Hispanics. Who's on that train right now? By majority, they are, not you. So they're going to single you out. They're going to make you sick. They're going to pull on your teeth. They're going to make your teeth crooked. It's called malnutrition. It's like malnutrition in the body acts like nuclear radiation, like a meth house. That's basically the real effect of malnutrition on the human body. I mean, you could Google it. Check on a couple videos on what happens to families that live exposed to crystal methamphetamine. It's identical. Malnutrition is identical to being exposed to crystal methamphetamine. Complete deformity. Beautiful, not beautiful anymore. And that's what they're doing to white people out here right now. White people that cannot afford food. White people that they believe, oh, that 1,500 calories is enough. Killing you. And as a doctor, I know this is evident because there should be affordable choices. There should be snacks. with a lot of calories. There should be affordable OJ to go, not the half gallon, because we're not going to drink the half gallon. We're going to have a little simply that, $1.85, not $4 to combat scurvy and teeth deformation, but $1.80. Because what we think is essential, they think is a luxury. And don't you ever forget that. What we think is essential, what we always had in our homes growing up, to them is a luxury. So they'll overprice everything else. Everything that you used to have in your home is now premium. The cereal, the milk, the OJ. And what you don't eat, then it's cheap. What you need to your body every day, what you need to stock up in, what you don't stock up in your house, then that's affordable. Supermarkets devoid of nutrients. The excess of sugar-free stuff anywhere, devoid of calories. Like if the body is supposed to survive with no calories. Like if the body is not going to undergo mass radiation, because that's basically what malnutrition does. Like if the body's not going to undergo mass radiation of uranium, enriched uranium at 75% exposure, outright radiation, thinking that the body's going to survive on sugar-free, on poppy, or on this and that. They're doing this on purpose. And who runs the food supply? They do. Find me a white supermarket. I'll visit it every day. Everyone white in there, not Hispanic, not black supermarket. I'll visit it every single day. Every day. Why? Because I know they're going to be rational with the food prices. They're not going to be identical as everyone else. They're going to treat the business differently. I would treat the business differently. My supermarket would have 4 times the street volume as any of their ideas out there. Cruel, disgusting people. Heartless, non-frontal lobe, because they don't have empathy. They don't even think. They think they big brain. They got a lot of heart, but they don't have frontal lobe capacity. The 13% in the front of the brain that lets them say, hey, this might hurt people. Overpricing this might hurt people. They don't have that. Mens rea, with thoughtful intent, a legal term. They don't have that. Even just a quarter, 25-cent difference makes substantial change in the food basket month to month, even 25 cents. Just a 25-cent difference per item or on several items has a great, significant effect on the amount of food certain families can put on the table. And these people, they race $1, $2, $3, $4, $5, $6, $7, 600, 700% of gain overpricing food out here. They know it should be $1, but they don't care. They're just trying to kill you. It's just there's not enough thoughtful people out here to identify them as the enemy yet. I already know they the enemy. I know they the enemy for what they done to my body, what they done to my face. Because there's pictures. I got videos. I'm a streamer. You can see my face every day of how I was, how white and beautiful and Italian my skin was, and how I look now. You can see my hair, how straight and shiny was my hair, and how they permed my hair. How they make this shit to a fluff. Like if I was Negro. How they took my teeth and put this gap in here. Like if I'm a Negro. Like if I'm Samuel L. Jackson or some shit like that. trying to make you one of their own just to smear you. Make you look ugly just to smear you. New York has to wake up and realize that they're the enemy. Got to wake up. They got to wake their ass up. They got to be like, hey, wait a minute. We can't associate ourselves with these people. These people's out here for something, and they're looking to kill you. They're looking to relocate you or kill you, starve you to death. Because in their mind, they're not thinking. They just want you to pay more. So they steal it. Pay more. You got to pay more because behind the back, on the back end, they're stocking up their pantry. They're satisfying that big back they got, that big belly, that big back they got. Well, we starve. There should be limits. There should be EEOC guidelines on how much percent of a certain race you should get out here. But do you notice that every food establishment is either minority or black? That's an EEOC violation. Off the bat, it's supposed to be 50% of everyone. It's 80% or more everywhere you go. It's 80% Hispanic, 80% black, African American in some places. That's a violation. That's a workplace violation. Does New York think about that? They don't care. But that's the jobs that these people want. They want to have control over you. They want to give you that 75% enriched uranium radiation. They really want to give you that radiation. They want to change how you look. And if you still look good, you're borderline to suffer the fate of many other Americans out here that look like if they undergone, like if they were exposed to real crystal methamphetamine. That's basically how it works. That's what not having enough nutrition in your body does. That's what having 1,100 calories, 1,500 calories every day will do to you. Not having a kitchen to flip a steak. Not have enough in your body. There's people starving out there, B. And it looks in their face. You can see it in their face. They skin sag, crepey skin, gaps in their teeth, crooked teeth. And these people that had orthodontics treatment. These are people that took care of their teeth and had a beautiful smile just like everyone else. But overnight, a couple Negroes in a supermarket will do that to you. They will do that to you. They will change your body's needs entirely. You will start adapting into slowly killing yourself, starving yourself. You know how many calories I have a day? Maybe 1,200, 1,000 calories a day. I supplement my diet with beer because beer is the cheapest per calorie meal out there. It's 500 calories for $2. 500. I sip one. It's gonna fill me up. It's gonna stop me from thinking that I'm starving myself out here. I'm smart. What could I do? Have a bunch of ham with no calories, have some bread, right, and a beer. That's it. But there's a really big issue in the city, and people need to wake up and realize that they're the enemy. We grew up with them being the enemy in Valero. I don't know if you grew up how I grew up, but I didn't hang out with Hispanics. I didn't identify as Latino, and nobody in my motherfucking high school sat with them at the lunchroom for real specific reasons. When I was in 9th grade, these people were violent as a motherfucker. It was not that table. Nobody even looked that way to not incite violence. And they're identical. We should be back like we were then. Yes. Friends, white friends, keep to the race and stop being interracial. Stop having interracial friends. Because what's happening here is because of that. Don't put him in your life. Don't bring a Hispanic, Latino person or a black person in your life, because what he's thinking about is not good about you. We were separated from those people. Why? Because you couldn't even look at them. And you being a child, knowing that these people is dangerous as a motherfucker. In later years, when you grew older, it started being like a couple black females, girls, tiny little ones, kids, babies. Yeah. But in the beginning, when I was in ninth, those boys were dangerous. And they were big, 200, 230 pounds. You want to look that way. And we should be back like if we were all in ninth grade. Keep to our group, everyone the same color, no nappiness, no ghetto-ness, and we'll do good. We'll try to get by the hardships, the hurdles that these people is looking to put in our path. Because they're trying. They're trying their hardest to make you leave the city. Their goal is to starve you long enough to make you go. I gotta go, 10:30, 10:35. I'll be out of here, but I'll get out now because I'm walking a little slow, obviously because my thighs is full of holes, bunch of needles underneath, hamstring, real painful stuff. So I'll see you guys later. I think this trade is gonna hit. I think the second trade is gonna hit. I already made $300. Let me check. I already made 300. Let me check on Discord. How much was it? Let's check real quick. $355. That's not bad. For 50% and 5 contracts, that's pretty good. I'll see you guys at 11:15. Gotta do some work today. Peace.